We have to be strong to let the next generation be the freedom generation that can free Palestine.
Imagine living in a country where a foreign army occupies your land, arrests your family members, and then threatens to evict you and your relatives from your village. That's life for the Tamimi family in Nabi Saleh in the occupied West Bank. For decades, the Tamimis have been challenging the Israeli occupation. But now Israel's taking its anger out on the family's children.
We didn't want to be fighters, we just wanted to live in equality.
Why is Israel so scared of the Tamimi family? This is the village of Nabi Saleh, home to the Tamimi family in the occupied West Bank. In 1977, groups of Israelis came onto this Palestinian land to take over the neighbouring hilltop. They've been expanding their illegal settlement ever since. Now, at least 1,300 Israelis live in the Halamish settlement that overlooks Nabi Saleh. But the Israeli settlers aren't just taking over Palestinian land. They're deliberately restricting their access to water too. In 2009, the UN says Israel took over the Ain al-Qaws spring near Nabi Saleh. The residents of Nabi Saleh stand in the way of the continued growth of Halamish and the Israeli takeover of this part of Palestine. Protesting against the Israeli occupation and the illegal Israeli settlement that's across the valley from here runs in the Tamimi family. The Israeli army has a military post at the entrance to Nabi Saleh. Soldiers can close off access whenever they want, and the army often raids the village, fires tear gas at the children, and storms into houses. The residents of this village face daily harassment from the Israeli army. The Tamimi family is paying the price for living so close to an ever-expanding Israeli settlement.
اطلع برا من بيتي يلا برا برا.
You can see that there is no children.
There's barely a house in this village that doesn't have missing family members.
My name is Ahed Tamimi. I'm from Nabi Saleh village and I have 2 sons in prison right now. Muhammad spent 20 days in isolation. They didn't torture him physically, but mentally they tried to break him.
The prisoners' rights group Ahed Tamimi says many Palestinian child prisoners are interrogated while they're sleep deprived.
They keep the light on all the time. If he wants to sleep, they put a loud sound, put him in a chair where he's handcuffed the whole night.
And of course there's the story of Ahed Tamimi, who pushed and slapped Israeli soldiers who had encroached onto her property in December 2017.
I miss Ahed a lot. She's my best friend, she's my cousin. She's in jail for just being Palestinian.
Ahed is one of the Tamimis who stood up to the Israeli occupation on a daily basis. But the day that Ahed confronted those Israeli soldiers in front of her house right here was like no other.
They started to shoot at Ahed, bullets and canisters on me. And then they tried to reach Ahed's house because it's in a high area, so they wanted to shoot on the children that was playing near Ahed's house, gas canisters and bullets. So Ahed didn't let him.
She was arrested shortly afterwards, and in March 2018, Israel sentenced her to 8 months in jail. Ahed's resistance caught the world's attention. But Ahed Tamimi isn't the only Palestinian child behind bars. Around 350 Palestinian children are currently being held by Israel. The number has increased almost every year since 2011. Human Rights Watch says Israel often abuses the Palestinian children it's holding and that they routinely interrogate minors without a parent present, violating international law. So why did the world start to pay attention when Ahed was detained?
عهد التميمي بمظهرها بشكلها خالفت التصورات النمطية اللي موجودة عند الرأي العام الغربي حول شكل الفلسطيني ومظهر الفلسطيني وخاصة الفتاة أو المرأة الفلسطينية. شافوا فتاة بمظهرها بدورها النضالي هون مخالفة للصور النمطية.
Ahed's defiant smile helped to make her a symbol of the Palestinian struggle. And while it's true that most Palestinian children languishing in Israeli jails don't get the attention that Ahed does, her case is helping to shine a light on Israel's treatment of Palestinian minors.
المجتمع الغربي تعاطفه معها هو مدخل إنساني، مدخل بالدرجة الأولى إنساني، بينما المناضل الفلسطيني يعني مش كتير بتفاعل الرأي العام الغربي. أسير معتقل فلسطيني صعب أنك توجد إجماع للأسف في الرأي العام الغربي اتجاه هيك مناضل.
In many ways, the story of the Tamimi family is the story of Palestine, the targeting of children, an attempt to harass Palestinians off their land, and the jailing of anyone who stands up to the occupation, no matter how young they are.
They are afraid of a small village to go through the non-violent resistance. If bigger villages took this community as a model, is something they don't want and they're not prepared for, because they can justify the violence they are using and the ethnic cleansing and the genocide they are using against Palestinians.
And the Tamimi family says it's their children who are suffering the most from the Israeli occupation of their village.
The army, they are trying to break the spirit of Nabi Saleh. As long as you keep resisting, your children gonna suffer, not you.
And as for 11-year-old Jana, she feels like she has no choice but to resist the occupation.
It's not our decision. This occupation make us not live our childhood, not get our rights like everybody in the world.